3 days in a row, Wade Regier. We've been here right in the hot seat.
have.
Your team continues to do what I thought they were going to do. Find a way to win hockey games. You told me yesterday that you don't score a lot of goals, but you figured out a way to win a hockey game. You did it again today against a really good Liberty team.
Absolutely. You know what? I think it was just an epic ACHA semifinal game. I mean, two powerhouse programs that are consistently ranked in the top 10, and we knew that this was going to come down to the wire. That we knew that this type of game wasn't going to have somebody have the game in out of reach within 5-6 minutes. We knew it was going to be coming down to the wire, and it sure enough had its ebbs and flows. We had the goal disallowed at the beginning, and then of course they scored first, and then we were able to find ways to score a couple goals, and then kind of ride the wave at the end. They were all over us at stretches, and they had one heck of a power play. And I know that as coaches you want to score on the power play, but they had really good looks, and then there was one humongous save from Chad Duran to kind of weather the storm for us. And so it's been wild, but you know what? That's Nationals, and that's who we are. That's our program. That's our culture. We're not a team that's going to put 8, 9, 10 goals. We're not going to play our best all throughout. We're going to have brutal stretches throughout the season. It seems like every November and every February we kind of get into some of these lulls. But when it comes to Nationals, our guys know it's a new phase, it's a new way of game, and our guys really step up and grind and find ways to win.
All right. I made a comment after the second period. I said, I just watched 2 periods of great college hockey. I left out the ACHA part. And the reason I said that is I thought you guys played as good a college hockey game as I've seen in a lot of NCAA games this year. And I want to go some points with you, okay? Yep. Number one, you're fantastic at taking away time and space. Yep. And I know that's something you work on, isn't it?
Absolutely. It is. That's what our defense did. I mean, there was no secret. We worked. They have such a huge transition game. They're opportunistic. You watch them. They are one of the fastest fast break teams in the country in terms of watching a lot of their games about chipping pucks, and they go. And they're deactivate so often that we really had to be a little bit more conservative. And, those are things for us. And our defense are experienced, especially guys like Paul O'Connor, who is a 4-year senior who played in the NHL. I mean, he's a skilled player that I feel like could play at the next level, and we're just gifted that he plays for us. And they feed off of him in terms of how their gaps are, when to be able to be aggressive and when to be passive in terms of that stuff. But we have to take away space, because I feel like some of these teams like Liberty and what we're going to see tomorrow in Adrian, they have so much skill that if you don't, they'll make you pay. And so our guys played a really, really sound defensive game.
Okay, so next part is you guys jam the net hard. I mean, you crash the net really hard, and you get goals that way. And they may not be the prettiest ones. It may not be the highlight reel. I tried to get them. A lot of times I took pictures, and I didn't see the puck, and it was in the net.
Yeah. No, that's who we are. Yeah, we're just kind of that I like to say we're Midwest, North Dakota. We're just a blue-collar state. We really work hard. We got hard-working individuals and great community people. And I think that's just our identity. I think it just comes off of our community. And, of course, we've got a lot of, Saskatchewan, Manitoba people, which, honestly, that border is imaginary line because of just rural and farming and agriculture, just a big part of the DNA of the fabric of those areas. And so it just falls into sync. That's who we are. We're just tough, rugged guys. Where we preach just outwork your opponent. At the end of the day, if every 50-50 battle, if you just win most of those 50-50 battles, you're going to win the game, and that's ultimately what we do. And, and especially for them, they have an outstanding goaltender. They're very skilled. Nobody's going to be walking around and having these beautiful backdoor 2-on goals. Right. It's going to be like a rebound, loose puck, a scramble in front, deflection. Those are the type of goals that typically happen, and, we were rewarded a couple times for it.
Okay, the other thing is you love to keep people wide. They very seldom get to the front of the net on you guys, and it starts at center ice, and it continues all the way back to your goal line. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. It totally is. You know what? I think our defense, they understand the gaps. Assistant coach Wyatt Wasylenchuk really stresses dots, and I think he uses that as experience, as he's also assistant coach for the Minot Minotauros of the North American Hockey League, and he's got 10, 11 Division I commitments on his team, and so they preach those type of gaps and understanding situations, and it's exactly who we are, because we know that if you do not follow those type of systems, the skilled players will eat you up. If you get caught crossed up on your defensive zones and their forwards are able to cross, it creates chaos and mismatches. And the good skilled teams like Adrian and Liberty and Lindenwood, who are, we've just played, they're the ones that will make you pay. So if we stick to that type of game plan, keep things to the outside, we're going to put ourselves in good spots.
Okay, next one. I noticed you guys break out really, really well, and a lot of that's got to do with positioning. I see your guys in position a lot. And through the lens of my camera, I can see it even better because I can see these red jerseys here, and here where they're supposed to be. That's good coaching or talented hockey players?
You know what? I think it's a little bit of both, but I think it's honestly more of we set the game plan and our players completely buy in. It's kind of almost, again, I don't want to sound cocky or conceited, but what we've done here for the last 4 years, we made the Final Four 5 years or 4 years in a row. We won a national title in 2019. Is that it works. What we're preaching, if you listen to what we're doing, if you follow what we're doing, it's going to work, and you buy in, and those guys buy in. And then it starts with our leaders. Our captain, Blake Fournier, he runs a tight ship with those guys. And I hear chatter in the locker room, and then all of a sudden he'll raise his voice, and it's silence, and you will listen to him contently because they know what he practices, what he preaches, and he follows along with everything that he does. And if you follow that method, you're going to be successful. And with our breakouts, our transitions, our forechecks, our D zone, it all comes together.
Okay, the last one is kind of a two-parter, but it's when I look at your hockey team, I see a team that is confident, they're skilled, they play in their position, but they don't get overconfident, and they never get rattled. I mean, that goal that you guys were disallowed, went underneath. Yeah. I mean, I actually saw it in front of me. Yeah. So I know it went underneath, which was, I've never seen that happen before and get lodged in there. Yeah. Didn't bother them. They celebrated like they had a goal, but then they went right back to work and continue it. So kudos to you on that as the first part. Yep. The second part of that is, how do you instill that in hockey players, especially at this age?
Well, first of all, it happens because we've experienced it so many times at this national tournament. I remember in 2016 in the quarterfinal, that was the first time we were able to use video review. We were playing Iowa State. We were out shooting them like 22-3, and we scored a goal, and it was a high stick, and then it was not, and we were getting really upset. But honestly, our 2019 year, we had a goal disallowed against Lindenwood, and I think the biggest thing I learned from that is that we have to pretend as if that goal never went in. Yep. Just wave it off, forget, because don't get you excited and then all of a sudden you become mentally not prepared. And so we've brought that message to our players going into the national tournament that we can't get too high on these opportunities. And if it's a goal, great. If it's not, we have to move on and not stay focused. And sure enough, the same thing happens again. And it's just a Beaver hockey, bad luck. We just always get a goal disallowed against us in one way or another. But it is what it is. But still, it's just one of those things that even last night's game against Lindenwood, we scored, and I was like, calm down. I know you want to be excited. They're going to come out harder. And I knew that Liberty was going to do that again tonight. And so even with 39 seconds left, timeout, calm down. Let's be prepared, be ready to execute, because they're going to come. I mean, it doesn't take much to score 2 quick goals. I mean, I'm sure you've watched a lot of games. You've seen some record games where it doesn't take much to get that puck north and south, and all of a sudden you could be 2 quick goals. So it's just something I think that we preach, as a coaching staff, and they completely buy in.
Okay, I can't ask you this question. I could ask it to Gary earlier because the games are done now, and you know who you're playing. Yep. I asked him who he wanted to play, and I said, I don't think you're going to tell me because you're going to say I want to play either one. Yep. And he said, well, Liberty's a great team. We played them a lot, but we owe Minot one. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. I know what he's talking about. No, it was kind of that feeling for us when we played them in 2019. Everybody knows that the defending champs have a target on their back. We brought that mindset when we played them in 2019. They were the number 1 team. We knew that they were, the defending champs at that time. We knew that we had to bring extra heat because they were so talented that year, and we got rewarded. So I know that they are going to come out a heck of a lot more fired up, and this is going to be probably one of the best college hockey games you will ever watch. We have 2 extremely skilled teams that are 2 of the best teams in the ACHA. You're going to see kids that have played Tier 2 hockey. You've got experience, players from their championship year. We've got players from ours. It's just going to be an excellent game, and I'm just excited to be a part of it, and we look forward to battling them.
Well, we look forward to seeing you guys on the ice tomorrow. And I will tell you right now, you've wore that championship target on your back for over 2 years now. So congratulations on wearing that target and surviving all the way to another championship. Folks, it's going to be Beavers and Bulldogs tomorrow night, 7 o'clock right here at the Maryville Hockey Center. Wade Regier, congratulations again on a great game tonight and a great season so far. Continue the good work, okay?
Awesome. Thanks, Scott. Thank you.
Well, it's another championship game, and you can see by this guy's shirt, it's Minot State in it. It's Beavers against Bulldogs. Blake Fournier, the captain of the Minot State Beavers, the 2020-2021 edition. Blake, welcome in.
Oh, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure, and looking forward to it.
Okay, so I watch you guys come in, and I'll tell you this now because you're in the championship game. I told your coach earlier about a month ago that you're my pick to win this whole thing. And everybody looked at me and said, Minot State? And I said, nah, Minot State. You guys are pretty good, aren't you?
Hey, we kind of like having that underdog mentality. Like you said, there's a lot of people counting us out or a lot of people, kind of voting against us. And we're kind of using that as our advantage, This tournament, we have a lot of guys that have been through it before. Right. I think we're going to use that to our advantage. We know it's not going to be easy, but we like where we're at, and we're going to give ourselves a chance to win tomorrow.
Coach Regier told me that every time you win a championship, you're the defending champ, you're wearing a target on your back. Well, because of COVID, you wore that target for about 2 years. What's it been like this year, just fighting through COVID and trying to get back here, and then you come in and they give you a number 6 seed, which I think was not right. But you know what? You just persevered. You just keep playing. You keep winning.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a tough year for everyone. First and foremost, we're thankful we're able to play. Yeah. Obviously, we have those disappointments of not, properly defending the title last year. But we understood the scenario. We know a lot of hardships have went on for a lot of people. So we're first and foremost, we're thankful we're here. We're excited. It's been, like you said, it's been a long time coming. So I think that just added extra motivation. The target is there, but like you mentioned, we kind of have the underdog mentality. Defending champs, but at the same time, a lot of people don't think we deserve to be here. So we're ready to prove them wrong.
Okay, I sent out a tweet after the second period, and I said, I just watched two great college hockey periods, 2 periods of great college hockey, and I left out the ACHA part because I watched a lot of hockey. I watched the Frozen Four. I watched a lot of NCAA stuff. You guys played a very solid game, as good as a lot of NCAA teams I've seen. What's the reason for that?
We treat this, as important as anything, right? Mm-hmm. We've been working our tails off since August. I know a lot of teams weren't able to start, or a lot of teams weren't able to even get a year in. So we were fortunate enough to start on time, get some games in. But we treat it so important. It means so much to us. We're thankful for all this support we receive from our fans and from everyone back home. And honestly, we're just excited for tomorrow. People that have that club hockey mentality, right. Hop on tomorrow, and it's definitely going to be a good one.
I totally agree with you on that part of it. So a lot of people in the Southwest, where I live in Arizona, and I cover pretty much from Colorado down, a lot of people will say, yeah, we know of Minot State, but they don't know of Minot State. I've been there. I lived there for a few years. I know what it's like. Tomorrow is going to be 48 and snowing here, I understand. Tell us about Minot State and what makes it such a great hockey school.
Absolutely. We're a small little university just south of the Canadian border, and that's where we get a lot of our recruits from. But yeah, it's just a small school. These temperatures that we've been seeing the last week, when we left, there was still snow on the ground. So, it's a little bit colder atmosphere. That rolling in tomorrow, it's going to be like it's hockey season like still. So we're excited. But yeah, no, it's a little tight-knit community. Like I said earlier, the support we receive is incredible. And we're definitely doing it for ourselves, for defending and everything. But we're doing it for everybody back home. For all the support we receive, we can't thank you guys enough. And cheer hard tomorrow.
Okay, final one for you. You got Adrian tomorrow. You've run the gauntlet, really. You've gotten Lindenwood, took care of them, took care of Liberty. Now Adrian, how do you keep from letting – I know it's a championship game, so it sounds stupid, but how do you keep from letting down after you've had 2 big victories like you just came out of?
Yeah, kind of our mentality is just, we're excited about our wins, but just keeping that even keel. And it's tough because, the highs and lows of the game, and we're excited that we made it this far. But the job isn't done yet. we've taken on three really good teams, and we know Adrian's a great team. But the job isn't done, so we know we got one more to go, and we're excited, and we're ready to get the job done.
I lied to you. I got one more.
Problem.
This is a two-parter, okay? Coach told me that he tells you guys after each one of these wins, it's like, I want you guys to forget about this when you leave the locker room. How difficult is that as for a player? That's number one. And then the follow-up to that is he also told me that I can count on Blake to run my locker room because I'll hear chatter in the locker room, I'll hear Blake raise his voice, and it gets quiet. Compliment?
Hey, I mean, I'll take it. I've been, this is my 5th year with the team, so that means a lot coming from Coach. But just try to be another guy in the locker room. We got a lot of intelligent people in there, a lot of guys that care so much. So, I think the biggest thing is, like you said, we've been enjoying these victories. But, as soon as we get out of the rink, we're already preparing for the next day. And I think that's comes with a lot. We have a lot of guys that have been there before, a few years back, and we got a lot of young guys kind of, figuring that out early, which is big. Not getting too high because it's easily, you get way too high after a big win.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's 4-4. It's not easy, and you always got to be prepared.
Absolutely. Well, folks, it's Bulldogs and Beavers tomorrow. Blake Fournier, thanks for stepping in and telling me a little bit more about Minot State hockey. We'll look forward to seeing that game tomorrow night.